The last time when we met, what we discussed was progressing from the Nishtha to Ruchi, the consciousness of one at the level of Nishtha. And we went through some questions of why do we chant, um, what do we get out of it? Is it because of the promise that we made, therefore we are chanting? Various questions it raised. And then we went through another passage where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Madhurya Kadambini, what it speaks about Nishtha. And then over there, we ended by this passage that Kutinati, fault finding, Pratishtasha, that leads because of the desire for wanting to have name and fame and positions, and finding fault, then getting into the mode of wanting to have some name, fame, prestige, positions in the society. And that leads to having jiva himsa, then we start offending and because of envy of other living entities, nishidhachara, then we go against the shastra, which is then kama, desire for material gain, and then hankering for popularity, puja. So this is what we need to remember as a practicing devotee. That first thing, everything starts is kutinati, gramya katha. Gramya katha means where we speak village talk, meaning gossiping, and by finding fault in others, because why envious of someone, and therefore you want to be better than someone else. Therefore, you go against the shastra, what has been shastra said, and that is all leads to wanting to gain some material popularity, followers, and so forth. So let's keep this in mind as we are practicing in Krishna consciousness, that we are not here to become famous. This is a very, very dangerous thing. If you want to become famous, um, Krishna will make someone famous if someone has to become famous. But we ourselves don't need to work towards wanting to become famous or wanting to become a best devotee in the eyes of someone. None of those things we need to do, and that is not our program. Let's all remain as a servant of servant of servant of servant. Actually, I wanted to continue reading this book, but I came across this beautiful sloka that related to this one, which says, um, the let me read the sloka. Purvajanma kritam papam vyadhirupena badhate. This is the first part of the sloka. Purva janma kritam papam vyadhirupena badhate. Means the karmas that we have accumulated for several janmas, many janmas, are all paid back to us in the form of vyadi. Please understand, this is important. Most of the karmas that um, are finished on us through something called vyadi. Vyadi means disease, to the disease. Therefore, we go through diseases, health issues, and so forth. It is nothing but it's our own previous karma. For that, we are suffering now to pay that back. We have been rewarded to go through the suffering of our previous karma. Now, the sloka says, Purva Janma Kritam Papam Vyadi Rupena Badhyate, but this Vyadi is of two types. One is Manovyadi, and then the Shariram, the body, through the body. We suffer through the body, we have some bodily diseases. So many diseases are there, right? So we suffer those things through the body, some ailment, something that we have to go through that. And a second way of suffering is not body pains, is the mano means the mind disease, meaning not necessarily we all go insane, not that we all become mental and join some. hospital. That's not what. Everyone who's born into this world have to go through those two things because of the previous karma. Health issues or mental issues. Health issues we know. Mental issues causes through our own family members, husband, wife, children. They could also become a problem for mental problem. Um, Extended family, even friends could create problems, mental problem to us. Um, or any of those things. Mental problem is unlimited compared to the physical problem. For every small thing, we get agitated, and we go through some mental suffering. So that is also this interesting thing is mental suffering. We also go through. We also make others to go through because they are all part of this whole thing. So everyone is trying to go through this purva karma kritam papam vyadi rupena badhate. Okay, that's fine. Now, what to do about it? That's what's very important for us. We all know we are suffering due to the karma, either physically or mentally. What to do about it? Well, the Shastra says here that tat shantir, we can pacify the karma, we can get reduce the impact of the karma, totally reduce the karma. Shatat shantir, aushadhair means by taking medicine. By taking medicine, obviously you can reduce the physical ailment that what we have, the neck problem, heart problem, headache problem, um, whatever, sinus problem, all those different problems. There's medicines are available. By taking some medicines, we can reduce those things. But the karma is going to come in another form of giving another health problem. That is why one after the other we keep going. This problem with that problem, health problem. Especially that becomes more and more prominent as we get older and older and older. Uh, so that's why when we are young, people doesn't worry about the old age. During the young time, they try to do a lot of things out of control because they have an age. They don't think about the karma and all those things. They just don't even think what is right and what is bad. They do whatever they want. As we get older, a realization comes, and then they slow down with trying to do only good things and take medicines, right? Aushadhe. And that's one thing we can reduce. That is fine. What about the mental torture? What about the mental thing? For physical thing, we take medicines. What about mental karma that we are going through because of whatever the reasons are? Adhyatmika, adhibhautika, adhidhaivika, these different tapatrayams that causes our mentally also some problem. The shloka says, Dānaihi, Japa, Homa, Sat Archanaihi. These are the four solutions it gives. Please remember, four things are given to take care of, address our purva karma chakridam papam. All purva karma papa that is related to the mental thing or even for the physical thing for that matter, not only medicine, even for the physical problems that we are going through. Four things are being told. What are the four things? Dāna, Dāna, Dāna Japa, Homa, and then Sat Archanaihi. Archanai means Aradhana or deity worship. First one is dhanam. By giving dhanam means giving charity, donations, charity. And doing japa, chanting the names of God. Number three, homa. You invite a priest and then perform homa. And number four, archana. Archana means doing archana to the deities at home. Or if you don't have deities at home, then at the temple, you do archana. These are the four solutions that's been given by the Shastra to reduce the impact of the karma, and even to some extent you can just nullify the previous karma by doing these things. One may think, Prabhu, we should not be worried about our previous karma because we are all devotees of Krishna. Therefore, we are chanting is important for us not to focus on karma, but to focus on love of God. Very true. But without even our knowledge, these things are also taken care. We focus on Krishna's prema, but then as we are doing the japa, what happens is purva karma kritam papam vyadi rupena badhate. That vyadi rupatla it goes in the vyadi rupam, but then by doing our japa, engaging in the worship of deities and engaging in the homa, engaging in the dhana, what happens is our karma also reduces. So what? Here is the good thing about it. Good thing is that this is our karma which is stopping us to progress further. It's a karma which is becomes a roadblock for us to for progress further. By doing all this thing, what happens is the effect of the karma reduces. The negative effect of the karma reduces. When the negative effect of the karma reduces, we have a freeway, highway, easy to go, right? For us to get into entry into the highway, we have to have the small things removed, small blockages removed, and that helped by doing Dāna, Dharma, and Japa, Homa, Archana, all those things. What happens is initially we may try to do these things to get rid of the karma. When the karma is reduced, then our bhakti grows. It's hand in hand. So whether we agree to this or we don't agree to this one, the fact is that as we are chanting, what happens is that our karmas get burnt out. The advantage of our karmas getting burnt out is we are getting into the highway of Krishna consciousness, which helps us to go faster into the process. Otherwise, it's just going to be slow and slow. That means doing japa is important, doing dāna, charity is important, doing homa is important, doing deity worship is important. The more that we do these things, the sooner that we get into the highway, and the more we have to do. So do not take this as a light thing and think that this is not Krishna consciousness. This is more of material things of get rid of karma. Well, it is get rid of karma definitely, but it's an advantage to this one. Right now, our Krishna consciousness is blocked. Monday, Tuesday is good, Wednesday is good. When it's go to Saturday, it's on the peak, and again Sunday it closed down, Monday it closed down, Tuesday further down, and again it goes to peak. Ups and downs are there. There are a lot of ups and downs are there. Therefore, it is important we also do these things in addition to what we are doing as japa. We have to give charity. Donation is very important. Sat patram to the right receiver. We have to give these things. And then we have to do deity worship at home. Or if you don't have at home, go to temple and archana. Archana needs to be done. Mm. And Vaishnavas usually do not go and do archana on their own name. That is also not necessary because then Lord knows what is your gotram, what is your rashi, what is your nakshatram. He knows everything. So usually, learned Vaishnava do not go and have to pray and do puja for their own self. They just puja for for pleasing the Lord. They do archana for the pleasure of the Lord. They do the archana. And these things are very important. What happens when you do Homa at home? We have to invite devotees. And invite devotees means taking their blessings. And then you're serving them prasadam. This is all falls into many of the credit points of Krishna. Krishna is getting pleased. By doing all this thing, Krishna is getting pleased. Krishna is getting pleased. What happens is that we are on the highway. Krishna is going to help us to enter into the highway. So keep that in mind. I know we have not read the book, but this is related to what we are studying here on the Kutinati, Pratisthasha, Jiva Himsa, Nishidhachara, and Kama and Puja. All this thing has to go away. And how will it go away? By performing these things. The reason it's there is all because of the Purva Vasana karma. Karma and Vasanas is constantly chasing us. It's constantly chasing. As when we die, besides other things, the two things also comes with us when we take another body from different janmas, or the two things, Purva Karma Vasana, Purva Karma, Purva Janma Vasana and Purva Karmas. These two things comes with us. Mm. So we have to work really hard to change the bad vasanas, as in and when we get an opportunity. So I thought I'll just share this beautiful sloka just I came across, that is Purva Janma Kritam Papam Vyadi Rupena Badhate Tat Shantir Ausadhair Dhanaihi Japa Homa Sura Archanehi means by performing Dāna, Japa, Homa and Archana. Let's see if there is any one question, if anyone has on this. And tomorrow we will read the journey from Nishtha to Ruchi from this book. We just did the summary of what we did from previous today. Anyone have any one question?
Krishna Prabhu, normally Homa, it's very special, right? In our regular life, we don't do Homa. In the temples, we do, right, bro? Or...
One second, I'm having some difficulty here with my laptop. Not able to. You're all able to hear me clearly?
Yes, Prabhu.
You are, but your voice is slow for me because I have some issue on my side. Homa is what? Sorry.
No, just I'm asking, in general, we do the donations like charity, Dāna, Japa, Archana, but Homa is not regular.
Yeah, Homa is not regular. Once in a while you do is also good, but focus on the other three things. Okay. In the traditionally, there's something called Agnihotri. Every Grahasthas, they have to perform Agnihotri. Every day, Agni Homa should be performed. What happens is, why Grahastha, not to other three ashram? Because what happens is, at the time of marriage, they invite a Agni, and they perform this marriage ceremony, Vivaham, marriage ceremony. And this is an important point. A secret of this, I'll tell you, is that when the marriage happens, after the marriage happens, what happens is everyone come on the stage and shake hands and give gifts and with the shoes and everything on the stage is completely sinful. You should not come on the stage while the Agni has been invited, has not been properly sent off. But while the Agni is still there, people start jumping on the stage of the marriage arena and then start talking so many things. That's all not, it's very offensive to Agni Devata and many other Devatas present there during the marriage. What happened? The reason I'm telling about the marriage is at that time of marriage, that particular Agni is not done. That Agni is taken home by the married couple, especially the head of the house, the man who got married. He takes the Agni and every day Agni Puja is done. Agni Hotri. He performs Agni to that, using that Agni. Every day he performs to it until he dies. Until he dies, he has to perform. In Ramayana, there's Rama also carried that Agni in the form of a wood. That's a different thing. So that's how Hanuman identified, oh, he must be a Grahastha. That's one of the reasons how Hanuman identified he must be a Grahastha. Anyway, and even in Bhagavatam, there's one Brahmana comes to even he comes and then says that my Agni wooden stick is been taken away by a deer. Actually, this is not Bhagavatam. Actually, this is from Mahabharata, where Pancha Pandavas are there in their exile. At the time, one Brahmana comes to them and says, my dear Pandavas, I can't perform my Agnihotra because the stick that I use for Agnihotra, which I need, is been taken by the deer. And then Pandava says, don't worry, I'll go get them. I'll get it for you. And while Brahmana is there, they try to hunt for the deer, and the deer was running, and the Pandavas were running. When the Pandavas stop, deer stops. When the Pandavas run, chase, deer runs. It's like Maricha, same situation. But this deer is none other than the Dharmaraja himself, the Yamaraj, took a form of a deer. And then later he took a form of a yaksha, swan, and then took a form of a yaksha. And then he asked 100 plus questions to the Pandavas. If you don't answer my question, you cannot drink the water. Yaksha prakshanam. We have to do that yaksha prakshanam one day. Krishna winning. It's beautiful questions. 120 plus questions, beautiful questions. So they will not answer, four brothers will not answer. Anyway, let me come back to the point here. So that particular the Agni should continue for rest of this life. When that man dies, who got married, lived for 40 years, 50 years, whatever life he had his life for, when he dies, it's the same Agni that used for the marriage should be used for this man to cremate him. It's the same Agni. None of those things are followed nowadays, but this is Shastra Vidhi. Shastra Vidhi. So my point I'm trying to tell us, no one follows that one, no one does that one, does not mean we cannot do it. But we are other things are there. And that Dhanam is there, Japa is there, Archana is there. Let's focus on those things. Whenever we have time, we'll do Homa, Vaishnava Homa, which can be performed at home for the pleasure of the Lord to satisfy the devotees. Thank you all very much. You all have a wonderful rest of the day. We'll meet again tomorrow at 5 a.m. Central. Chant and be happy. Hare Krishna.